The content in this episode includes topics around disordered eating. Please be reminded that we are not healthcare professionals, but only speak from our personal experiences.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.
Welcome back to
Rock Me Mama.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Amie.
What are we talking about today, sis?
We're talking about finding your style as a mom.
Like, once you become a mom,
Because it does change.
do you have to change your style? Is it necessary? Do you have to, quote unquote, dress like a mom?
Yeah.
All these things.
We definitely don't dress like moms.
I don't dress like a mom, I don't think.
But I will say that I definitely dress different than
Yeah.
slightly different. More than
Yeah.
slightly. I mean, I think I'm a lot more conservative.
I'm way more conservative.
Yeah.
Y'all
Which is funny.
don't dress like moms. I don't either. I dress like Adam Sandler.
Well, you're pregnant, so you
Okay.
dress like Adam Sandler.
You don't dress like Adam Sandler when you're not pregnant. But you're the cutest Adam Sandler.
No, you don't.
there
You don't dress
ever
like Adam
was.
Sandler when you're not pregnant. But when you're pregnant, you know, like you dress like Adam Sandler.
We
Like
live
right
for your
now,
Adam Sandler style.
you look a little like Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler dresses like me, honey.
Exactly. Exactly.
We got.
Oh, when I was pregnant, I looked cute until maybe 20. Well, first trimester, I felt least cute of all
Oh yeah,
because you just look fat. You don't
and
look
you
pregnant.
feel well, and
You're like, I just look like a fat version of me.
but it's like you're not big enough to wear maternity clothes.
No.
And then you're not small enough to fit into your regular clothes. So you're like,
You're
I guess
swollen.
sweatpants it is.
You're
or I'm like
swollen.
squeezing into
Yeah.
spandex.
Yeah.
And it looks like I just have been holding a shit in for 4 days.
Yeah. I wore like a lot of jumpsuits, like
Yeah.
a lot of like jumpers, because I didn't want anything touching my waist. I was just like, anything that touches my waist is not
Yeah.
happening for me. And my tits were like
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah.
And then second try, we've talked about this before. You feel a little cuter.
Yeah.
Only when you start bumping. When you pop, that's when you're like, okay, I can wear tight things.
It also depends on the time of year because for
Yeah.
like, if I were pregnant when Morg is in like the heat of the summer and like when
Yeah.
Maddie was,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not kidding. I probably would have shown my belly. Like I literally probably would have worn crop tops still and been like, if you have a problem with me, that's fine.
But that's because you look like you.
No, okay, but you can't like have a style. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna wear?
This is my
Well,
struggle.
I'm serious though, because like for me this time, I
wear little summer dresses or things that are
That's
big
true.
and bouncy.
That's true.
Things that you can kind of let everything air out.
I loved my pregnancy style this time, but I really think it was because of the
Your
time of
pregnancy
year.
style was cool, but
I think it's
also
'cause of the
you
seasons,
had
though.
your exact body with a pregnant stomach.
Yeah,
Like you literally, your body looked normal, but with a pregnant stomach. Like you still were super fit.
yeah.
So you looked like cool and pregnant, but that doesn't like happen for all of us.
that doesn't like happen for
You know
all
what I
of us.
mean? Not all of us get to
Yeah.
look normal. Like some of us actually just look hideous. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's just there was like a 2-month period of time where I was like, I'm looking cute.
Yeah,
I have a big pregnant belly and I'm still kind of fit. But most of it wasn't like that.
but see, your pregnancy time was the same as mine because Wyatt's due date was Farrah's birthday. I feel like the season
but I
has
don't
a
look
lot
like
to
you.
do
I
with
like
it.
had got so much cellulite. Like when I was pregnant, I like definitely blew up and had
I still don't believe you when you say that, but
Macy.
we need a pick. Pick or didn't happen.
Okay, watch me get like. Hopefully, I'll get pregnant again, and you guys can see when my body just literally turns to a jar of mayonnaise, and that's the only way I can describe it because it actually looks like that. It's like mayonnaise.
I mean, I can speak to the season bit because my
Yeah.
kids are going to literally have opposite birthdays, June
Yeah.
and December. So everything is different. I was like getting cutie pregnant in February, March
Yeah, so you
With-
could bundle up.
with Heart. And this time, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I can say this later when we talk more about like mom style or whatever, but like all all the cute stuff I had like accumulated over the years before I got pregnant with Hart no longer fit me at the beginning of this pregnancy.
Yeah.
Because I had a kid, breastfed, stopped.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those size 6 pants don't fit anymore, honey.
Yeah. And I think most moms are that way.
Yeah.
Most moms feel like they kind of never get back to their pre-pregnancy self. I worked I'm psycho. Well, I'm not a fitness person where it's my job like you, where you actually have to be in shape all the time and you don't get any leeway.
Yeah.
For me, nobody's watching me to be like, did she lose the last 10? But I'm watching me because I am so conscious of everything I put in my mouth. I mean, my friend Jess and I went on a walk yesterday and we were talking because she struggles. She's had an eating disorder. Eating disorders are like alcoholism or drug addiction. It doesn't leave you. And you've talked about this too. It's not something that leaves you. It's something that you manage.
It's constant work.
But it's something that can always come back.
Yeah.
And I've always struggled with eating disorders in my own way where I never full out had anorexia. I never full out had bulimia, but I used to throw up after meals.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I used to, and I've tormented myself about the scale. I've counted calories since I was probably 11 years old. And I still count calories and I still weigh myself every single morning. And what I see on the scale determines how I feel about my day.
I wish that you would.
Okay, so my friend Jess said the same thing. She said, please throw out your scale.
I have told you that so many times.
And you said it, I know. But I'm not, it's not, I still eat what I want. And I work out and
So
I
then
live a
why
healthy
torture
life
yourself?
because I just need to know. Because if I'm not accountable, then I'm going to get
Okay.
huge.
Why is the number what's keeping you accountable rather than how you feel?
Because
or how things fit.
so I know you guys are right, and I know that it's the scale
No, I
thing.
really
is
want you to
fucked
answer
up.
that.
So I just know, and here, okay. So here's, I don't know how to answer your question. I don't know.
You don't have to know.
But what I know is sometimes I get on the scale and I weigh something that I really don't want to weigh. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, but you look really fit. And so I'm like, okay, so maybe you drank something that bloated you or you ate something that bloated you or
But
whatever.
does that change the way that you eat that day?
Yes.
Okay.
And so if I get on the scale and I see something that I like that day, I'm like, all right, I can be a little
Then you
easier
like
on myself.
reward yourself.
Yeah, like I can be a little easier on myself.
Can I challenge you with what I challenge when I work with one-on-one clients who do this? We taper off to, we start with once a week. That's your weigh day. It takes self-control.
Oof.
But it's your weigh day because your weight fluctuates. Literally, y'all, I'm so sorry.
I fluctuate like 5 pounds a week.
Okay.
Like literally, I can be 5 pounds
It happens
heavier
in a day
tomorrow and be 5 pounds lighter the next day.
Y'all, Chase, he just got a scale. He's doing this workout program and he looks great. He's working out so hard and his body looks amazing. But he got a scale. I fucking hate scales because I have a bad history. We broke up a long time ago, scales and I did. So I'm very passionate about the topic. But Chase bought a scale probably about 2 weeks ago and he weighed himself. I'm sorry, babe. He weighed himself before he pooped and then he pooped and he lost 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, and granted, your shits aren't like a man shit, but our weight fluctuates not even within a week. It fluctuates within the day.
I know.
So unless you are weighing yourself at the same time every single day and eating the same thing every single day and drinking the same amount of water,
I know.
the same amount of wine, doing the same workout, like it's going to be different every day.
I know.
So,
and I know that it's sick. And it's been ingrained in me since I was a kid. My mom weighed herself every day. My mom still weighs herself every day. I mean, it's like, it's just something that my mom's sister does. My grandmother does. I've been counting calories and thinking about every single thing that goes into my mouth from the time I was a little kid. And the reason that I'm open to having this conversation at all is because I don't want my daughter to be
I was just about to say, I'm going to throw this out here. And
don't
you know
want Farrah
it's
to be
coming
like
from
that.
a place of love. You said you do it because of your mom. You don't want Farrah to be sitting here 30 years from now.
I don't.
Saying my mom weighed herself every single day, so I
want
do.
weight to be part of her everyday thought.
Because that girl watches everything.
She gets on the scale.
Yeah.
I need to get rid of it.
Can I say I have the opposite problem, not even being funny, just like seriously. But coming from like a mother and daughter perspective is for me, health, whether it be food, mental health, physical health, was never, it was like, just whatever, anything goes, Southern cooking. And that's like, that's a cycle to break as well.
Yeah.
And I have never been someone who like, me with vegetables and working out.
No, I made you a salad and you're like, I've never seen this.
Yeah. What is this new?
What is this lettuce?
But it's like I see the value in all of it, but it's like I almost stop myself from making the change to be a healthier version, which for you would be getting rid of the scale. Let's call it what it is. For me would be making those positive changes as well in my life, but saying like, oh, well, I'm genetically already like, predisposed, or I was raised without that value, or raised without that discipline, or my mom never did that, or she did do that. And I don't want my kids, even though I'm going to have 2 boys, to grow up like,
well, it's important.
My mom just like never, cooked healthy. We always had a lot of butter.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that is, it's a factor, but it's not the factor.
Yeah.
It's a factor.
And I think both of them, like we have to come meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing about my family is I come from a family of chefs. So my mom is a chef and my brother is a chef, and I ate amazingly my whole life. I was spoiled with food, but food was something that you indulged in and then you made yourself pay later. So you indulged in delicious food, not necessarily unhealthy food, because everything was really gourmet. It wasn't fast food. It wasn't tons of butter or casseroles. I mean, we're East Coasters. We're not like casserole people, but it was something where in my mindset is, and it always has been, eat the piece of pizza, not 3, eat the piece of pizza or 2, and have the salad, but know that you're going to run 6 miles tomorrow and then you're going to lift and and for a time in my life when I was a teenager and in my 20s, I would take tons of laxatives and also make myself throw up.
I went through that stage too.
Yeah. So I would binge eat sometimes because I would be like, I have no control, whatever. And then I would take laxatives and just like shit my brains out.
Yeah.
And that's like the grossest thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how gross.
Yeah.
But I would know that when I was eating that stuff, I would know, well, I'm going to fucking shit.
I was that way. I developed my eating disorder in college, and it was binge and purge. And so I would eat like during the week, or if I knew I didn't have something going on, I would just like eat like a bird.
Yeah.
Or like very minimal and counted calories and all that. And then I would, if we were going out to eat, or if I had like eaten so light for so long, it would like the like binge craving would happen, and I would just like eat anything, everything, knowing good and well
that you're gonna throw up.
Well, I'm gonna throw it all up after. Yeah. And it took years.
So I would throw up there were years where I was throwing up, but I have such a bad throw up face. Like I am such an obvious thrower upper.
Yeah.
That it like, I couldn't get away with it in front of people. So I would have to not like, but then I wouldn't have the self-control sometimes to like not eat everything. And I got to a point where I was just like, I think that was also part of the reason I did a lot of cocaine was because cocaine when diet. I would do a lot of cocaine, I wouldn't be hungry.
Yeah.
And I didn't want an Adderall. Yeah. And I didn't want to be hungry. So I would do a lot of cocaine because it made me feel like a rock star, but also it made me not eat.
Right.
And I had all these unhealthy habits that I still have inside me.
Yeah.
I just don't do them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very much more controlled now. I eat what I want, but in moderation.
Yeah.
I don't eat terribly. I don't overeat. But if I do eat something that I think makes me feel bad, I overwork out.
Yeah.
So I'll like make myself pay the next day.
Yeah.
And that still hasn't changed. I have been able to say to myself, weigh myself and be like, okay, don't panic.
Yeah.
you ate this or you ate that. But I don't want her whole life to be monopolized by these fucking thoughts.
Yeah.
Because it is so meaningless.
Yeah.
Like, to feel good and to look good is one thing. It is so important to feel good.
Yeah.
And feel like you look good as a woman, like to feel confident. It's a very important thing to me, not to everyone.
Yeah.
But to feel good or depending on a number that literally means nothing to anyone but you.
Yeah. It means nothing.
And so what if at some point I'm not a size 4?
Yeah. Nick
So
sure ain't gonna
what?
care. Nick thinks you're the hottest thing that
Yeah, my
walks the
husband's still
planet.
horny, still wants to have sex. You know, like I still am a good mom. I'm still a good friend.
Yeah.
I'm still a great fucking musician.
Yeah.
You know, why am I unworthy at a size whatever?
Yeah, I know.
But it's in me, and I am struggling to change that part of me for her.
And I will say, Amy, speaking of giving credit, you know, I know you tell, you know, Macy this, like, give credit where it's due. From my seat, I think you also spent a lot of formative years and, you know, 20s in an environment and in a field of work. Not that it's always triggered by something external, but I think, you know, you already had seen that with, you know, like growing up, but being in an environment where that is your worth.
image is
Before anything else.
Oh yeah, you have to look a certain way.
yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it's, you know, I think it's acknowledging the feeling and the why behind it. But I mean,
Giving yourself a break.
Give yourself a break.
Yeah.
For also, one, what you ate and how much of it, but also why
Why I am the
you
way I
have
am.
those feelings to begin with.
And my friend Jess was like, you need to throw your scale away, just the way you say it. And I told her point blank, I said, I'm not ready.
That's why I
How
say
fucked is that? How dumb is that?
No, it's not.
She said she drove around with her scale in her car for 4 years.
That makes me so sad. But it's not. And I say that from a place of, this is not
You've
a like,
been there.
Yeah, this is by no means a like, holier than thou thing. Like, it's sad because I feel that so deeply.
Yeah.
I struggled with it for so long. And for me, like kind of what Morg is saying, and anybody who is or was an athlete will probably relate to this. Just like you needed to look a certain way, I had to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I was an athlete my entire life. I ran track all through college. And what started my eating disorder was when I tore my labrum in my hip. And I was completely out for, it
so
was
painful.
awful. Had a massive surgery. And it was the first time in my entire life I couldn't work out. I've been playing sports since I was 3.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in my life I couldn't work out. And something triggered my mind to like, well, you've always looked in shape. You were born, I'm
Skinny.
yeah. Like I was born with muscle. I was born with a high metabolism.
Yeah.
Like I've always looked this way. I can't let something stop me from looking like the way I've always looked, or like I'm expected to look as an athlete. And so in my head, it was like, okay, well, if you're not burning, God knows how many calories I was burning every single day during 4 or 5 hour track practices.
Yeah, Jesus.
And I all of a sudden stopped doing that. And so I was like, oh my God, like I have to compensate for this somehow. And so that's where it went. But it is always, whether it stemmed from the way that we were raised or a pressure that we feel, or a combination of both. Like, because I have to say, like my mom, I've never talked to her about this, but I never felt any of that from my mom. But it definitely was the pressure that I put on myself to look a certain way as an athlete. I don't even remember where I was going with this, but it is always stemmed from something.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm trying to find like the root of what,
Yeah.
like I know that my mom was always and still is psychotic. I mean, the first thing my mom or my aunt or my grandmother will say to you is, oh my God, I'm so fat right now.
Yeah.
And that's like part of our humor. Like that's like part of our Jewish, Italian, like, you know, that's like how we talk. Like, ugh, I just ate this and I'm like so fat. Like it's stupid, but it's kind of our language. And it's our terms of endearment too. Like our terms of endearment is like, oh my God, you look so skinny.
Yeah.
It's like you look amazing because you probably haven't eaten this a lot this week and you worked out really hard so you look skinny. That's like a way to compliment someone. And I'm always very hesitant to compliment a woman in that way. My friend Alana, I just saw her in LA and she had lost a significant amount and she was never big. She was always in good shape.
Yeah.
But she had clearly gotten skinnier.
Yeah.
And she's been on the keto diet.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying to her, I was like, wow, you look fucking amazing. Like you're so skinny. And then I caught myself and I was like, God, why am I celebrating?
You're glorifying skinny.
Why am I celebrating her for losing weight when she is healthy?
Yeah.
But she's working really hard on it and she's probably beating herself up and she's probably not eating a lot. And like, why am I'm part of the problem. And that's what everybody's done to me too.
Right.
When I've lost weight and when I've looked really skinny, people have told me how amazing I look.
Right.
And so I register that
There's
as
validation
skinny
in that.
is good.
Yeah. I think most
is
women do.
not.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is when I'm thicker and more muscular, that's when my husband's way more into me. Nick is, and if I'm eating and like he and men in general, like respond to curves.
Right.
Whether it's skinny toned curves or just curves, men really don't. The funny thing is men don't give a fuck.
Right. Well,
It's women that care. It's women that care.
It's the difference in who you're dressing for, like, or dieting for, working out. Like, are you doing that for women
Or yourself or men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think back to, I mean, when I was a young kid, I was always very active and I was artsy, but I was also kind of athletic. And I just remember at some point, I don't know what age it was, but at some point I saw that I was gaining weight.
Yeah.
And other girls weren't.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing cellulite on my body for the first time and looking in the mirror and knowing that my friend Lauren, who I hung out with all the time, didn't have any. And I was like, why do you not have any of this? And I have this. And what is this? And it's 90% of women have cellulite. But
is that a fact? I would say more
literally or more. Most women have cellulite. But I remember it as I started coming into my teen years, like when I started just getting chunkier. I was also like just eating a ton and whatever. But I remember seeing cellulite and I remember thinking, this is the most unattractive thing that could ever happen.
Yeah.
And what a curse.
Yeah.
And then seeing other girlfriends that just didn't have it and then girls that did. But I was just like, why me?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It's there. Women have cellulite. You learn that as a woman, you learn to normalize cellulite.
Yeah.
But as when you're a teenager and you're just starting to look at your body and you're, I remember just different things happening. Before I went through puberty, I had no boobs and I was chunkier and I had cellulite and I hated my legs. That was my main obsession.
Yeah.
I hated my legs. And I would pick my body every day. I would look in the mirror and just like pick my body apart. And my brothers would be like, you're a psycho.
Yeah.
But I would be like, my legs are so fat. And they would be like, your legs are kind of fat.
Oh, guys.
But they were like, just like agreeing with me. Like they were like, they are kind of like,
Yeah.
But my brothers also were chunky too.
Yeah.
We were all chunkies.
Yeah.
And then I went through puberty and I learned, okay, I have boobs now. People are paying attention to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to starve myself.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, when it started.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a moment in time when I was
There's not. I don't know that there's ever one.
I don't know what the age is, but there is an age where our children are going to start looking at themselves in the mirror and not smile and not see
I want to
what
say
they see now.
4 is what I've read. It's young,
Okay.
it's scary young.
Yeah.
That's why, like,
Someone said 6 to me today, and I thought that was young. 4 is
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody come at me for that.
because Farrah looks in the mirror right now, and she looks at herself and she smiles and she says, "Mommy, I beautiful."
Yes. And like, we need to keep that energy.
And how do I save that? How do I keep that?
That makes me want to cry.
I know.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's no one moment. It's like it's over time, and it's things that are. I mean, we all know built. Society is built, and it's like you almost until you know better, you have no choice but to take part. You know better now.
Yeah.
Don't take part.
Morgan's like,
I know.
dropping so many good
You're
things.
so wise.
You're so wise.
But no, I remember my mom.
No, I do. I know better now.
Yeah, you do. You do, and you'd be doing yourself and your daughter a disservice by not making a change that you're capable of making.
With
not
the skill.
saying that it's just.
What if I just hide the skill? Like no, she's gonna see.
I think talk to someone who's trained in helping people with those.
Lose their skills. But
Lose their
here's the
skills.
thing. I'm not
and like self
throwing up. I'm not underweight. I am healthy.
Yeah.
I eat healthy.
Yeah.
I work out a healthy amount. I don't overdo anything.
I think it's the
my
mindset.
only
It's the
problem.
mindset.
My only problem right now with this particular subject is the scale.
Yeah.
It's the mindset. It's the mindset.
No, you're
And the
healthy.
mindset.
We
It's
can
habit.
vouch for
It's
that.
habit.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why.
I just don't know how to let go of the fucking scale.
What if you started doing every other day and then wean down to?
Okay, I can promise you guys that.
Let's all keep
Okay,
Amy
okay,
accountable.
I
Keeping you accountable.
I can
start
promise
there.
you that tomorrow morning I will not weigh myself.
Okay. I'm literally going to check. I'm going to text you tomorrow morning. And you have to be honest with me.
It's hard, Amy. It's hard. And I want to say this, and I remember I have got 2 sisters. I'm in the middle, and I was always known as the skinny sister.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a
pressure.
a brand to live up to.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anyone else in my family would have noticed this, but my mom, who has struggled with her weight, she was little, then she had 4 kids, and then she wasn't really as much. And she worked at a Belk, and she would bring.
I love that she did that.
Yeah, she worked in the kids' shoe department.
Oh my God.
She would bring me home Ralph Lauren dresses, cute clothes. She never did that for my sisters. It was these tiny.
Because you were the skinny one.
It's like, I felt,
So you were
Well, I
celebrated.
didn't feel like this at the time, actually. Now reflecting on it, it's like
Yeah.
you do see those little ways where that's ingrained in you of like, oh, I've got value because I'm the little one.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so, I think I don't believe everyone does their best with the knowledge that they have. I actually don't believe that.
No, they
However,
don't.
I believe that you can choose to.
We're all capable of
It's
it.
also like, it
Yeah.
is constant work. And if it's not, because I know
You're never done.
No, you're never done. And I don't want anything like everything that I'm saying is literally coming from personal experience or like the pain that you're like, I have been there. I struggled with an eating disorder for probably 6 years.
Yeah.
And I can proudly say that I haven't thrown up in, oh my God, it's been, well, since long before I got pregnant. I mean, probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I don't have that temptation anymore. But like for me, sometimes and I think I always will have that pressure of I need to look a certain way because I am a trainer or I work in fitness or whatever. So like that's something that I'm very pleased to say that I have overcome my eating disorder. And for anybody who has one, you can too. It's doable.
But it's every day you have to
every
work
day
on
that
it,
I am still working on like the mental aspect of like the way that I need to look. And then another thought that I had was you were saying like it feels like tomorrow you're not going to get on the scale.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is you're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to say I'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you need to like there's going to be 100 tomorrows. And that's how it was. I think probably
I
most
need to
women
remove
can
the scale
say,
from the main bathroom where she is.
Yeah.
That's
Start
what I
there.
need to do
if
now.
That's step 1, start there.
And I need to not do that in front of her.
Yeah.
Because she does step on the scale
Yeah.
now. Right after me, she does.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, right now it's cute, but like
not cute.
eventually
Yeah.
she's going to ask you why you're doing like, or she's
she
smart as shit.
notices
She's going to put it
everything that I
together.
do. Yeah.
But you're going to say, I can start tomorrow. I did that, y'all, every time I was bent over the toilet throwing up. Sorry, that's graphic, and I hope it's not triggering for anybody.
We will have a content warning.
Yeah, we will have this will have a trigger warning. Every time I was doing that, I would say, this is the last time. Like next, like you're done. Like because you feel so, or I can't say you for general public. I would feel so bad about myself, and I knew what I was doing, and I was disgusted and ashamed, and it was such a dark, dark secret. And every single time I did it, I was like, this is the last time. Like, you don't need to be here. You're aware of it. Like I was able to admit it to myself, which I do think is step one.
Yeah.
And it's a really hard step, but and
you're like training other people on how to get their bodies.
Yes.
And you're doing that behind
and there was that guilt that just ate at me every single day of like, I'm a phony. Like this is, I can't even, why am I talking to women about, I'm a phone. And so that was a constant thing, was like, well, there's next time, or like, or, you know, the next time it did happen, I was like, well, okay, I'll do it again the next time. So all that to say, there's a 99.9% chance tomorrow morning you're going to wake up and you're going to think, I'll start it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fight that urge.
Okay.
Because the hardest time,
I'll be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
I will. I'll
but
tell
the hardest time is like, the first time.
I weighed myself. Yeah.
And every time you do put it off until tomorrow is another win. And that's going to get easier. And then before you know it, it's going to be every 3 days. And then before you know it, it's going to be once a week. And like you will get there. It's the first not putting it off that's the hardest.
Yeah.
It's small goals, but I will say, like I said in a previous episode, this is just the you're accustomed to.
Yeah.
You can do it. And I want more for you than just weighing yourself every other day.
Yeah.
You can do more than that.
But
it's a good first step.
It's a good start. Yeah.
And all of this
for her, like to break the cycle, like you said in one of the other last episodes,
breaking the cycle.
To break the cycle, I need to stop weighing myself every day.
Yeah.
In front of her and in front of me.
Yeah.
Because why?
Right. Do it for you.
Do it for you. Yeah. Your daughter matters, and that's an extra layer of motivation.
Totally.
But
well, sorry, that took a massive turn that we can like cover mom style in 5 minutes really quick. Sorry, y'all. That got like,
what should we do? What do you want to know?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a strong believer in that the conversation flows where it needs to.
Oh, it totally does. I was just going to say, like, for a mom style, if you feel like you don't know your mom style yet, it's okay. Just keep dressing in what makes you feel good.
For me, my mom style is anything that's really high-waisted.
Yeah.
I love to be tucked in to
nice and secure.
Anything. Yeah. Like when I was, before I was a mom, I wore crop tops every single day. I wouldn't now, not because I'm not in shape, because I work really hard to be in shape. But I will say my stomach is just not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the same. Like it's as toned as I have made it thus far with the lifestyle that I have. And I work out almost every single day. And I still have that layer of goo.
Your anatomy is different. Yeah.
And I still have a layer of mom. I literally have a layer of mom goo that like it won't shed.
Yeah.
It could if I did steamed vegetables and fucking
but ew.
But I'm not doing that.
No.
So to live the life
good. That you're like that's
to live the life that I live, which is I eat what I want.
Yeah.
In moderation, and I drink every night.
Yeah.
I didn't drink last night, you guys.
Oh wow.
But I drank 1 or 2 glasses of wine every night. But like to live the life that I live, I have the layer of mom goo. It's fine. I'm just not wearing like a crop top every day.
But I do think that there is this stigma, and we'll wrap it up because I know we need to. But for those of you who are like dying to know about mom style, we'll cover it in 2
they're like,
minutes
but
now.
you never got to mom style. No one fucking cares.
I'm like in the weird 5 months postpartum, like my boobs aren't what they are going to be, and I can only wear like, because you know when you're nursing, your boobs they're massive
huge,
and like it's all different. And I was telling Amy in the bathroom, I was trying on all my shorts, and I have so many good jean shorts, but like my ass cheeks are hanging out of all of them. And like it's not even that I'm a mom, because I think that a lot of women think like you have to dress like a mom.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that when you become a mom, you have to like wear muumuus and like dress like a mom. Like wear what you feel good in. But for me, and like we were saying, I I don't want the attention.
I don't
like,
love the
I
attention.
don't want to look.
Yeah, like I used to thrive on attention.
Totally.
And now I just like
come up to me and tell me you love my body. But now if you were to do that, I'd be like, ooh.
Ew, get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, mommy, get away.
Yeah.
But like I would never wear this. Like I wear shirts that cover my chest, and I would never do that when I was younger because I was just like, if I don't have my tits out, who am I?
Well, and there's such a fine line in like confidence and like dressing for attention.
Yeah.
Because like, here's the deal. If you feel confident with your stomach showing and like you're feeling that like that outfit and you got some cleavage, then like go for it.
Go for it. Oh my God. Always dress how you feel good.
Then like do it. So anyways,
I feel good now is just like, I like to wear things that are fitted, but I don't love to show as much skin.
Yeah.
So that's like how I'm like, I've kind of moderated my mom style too.
Yeah.
I like to feel sexy and put together, but I also don't want the sexual attention that I used to really crave.
Just be an age thing.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm fucking 40.
That may not even be a mom thing. So all this to say, if you're a new mom, don't feel like you have to like
dress how you want.
Like mom. Dress how you want.
Wear what you want. Rock what you want.
It will probably take you a while to figure out what that new style is.
And also what you always say, like, I think a lot of moms are in better shape after kids than they ever were before.
Agreed.
Because kids sometimes give you this new motivation on life where you need to motivate. Yeah. So a lot of moms, especially after they've had the last kid where they're like, all right, I'm not having any more kids. They're like, all right, now I'm going to get in the shape that I need to be in.
Totally.
And they look fucking hotter than ever.
So if you want to wear little clothing, then like
show your butt crack, baby.
Yeah. Sometimes you're me and you find your style in between pregnancies and then give yourself some grace that there you may have mom style and then you may have pregnancy style, which may be very Adam Sandler-esque. And you'll get back to that, and it doesn't mean
they're temporary.
Doesn't mean you have to fit back into the clothes you bought at that time that are in your closet,
right?
Yeah,
but sometimes that is put on hold.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, good talks. Let's hear it from the listeners.
What you guys want to know?
What do you want to know?
All right.
We're going to not be funny.
That's
Nick, for those of you who cannot
That's my husband,
guess.
Jimmy Kimmel.
It's so good.
Okay, I'm between a couple, and y'all keep like, even if we don't have the question box up, like if you think of something, just ask DM.
Us. Yeah, ask us. We always want to know what you guys want to know.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
So I'm not going to think too much into this. I'm just going to throw one out there. Alcohol while breastfeeding, pump and dump, wait 2 hours. What's best? And I will say, we don't know what's best. We know what
we do.
Yeah, let's. That's a great disclaimer.
Let's preface this by saying we don't know the answers to things. We're Googling just like you. Yeah. So don't keep us accountable to things that are as though they're facts. We don't know. We'll answer how we live.
Personally, I go by, and this has actually been told to me by several pediatricians. I don't know several pediatricians. I'm talking to all the pediatricians in the state.
I've interviewed various pediatricians, and they've all told me.
Every single one.
Yeah.
2 pediatricians have told me that verbatim, Eli's pediatrician, we've switched since then, but his pediatrician, when I asked in the hospital, it was literally one of my first questions. I was like, if I want some wine, and she literally goes, as long as you don't feel woo, then you're good to go. And then I see most of the time now, that if you feel okay to drive, then you are okay to feed. And that is the rule that I go by.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like when I'm breastfeeding, I have a couple drinks.
Yes.
And I don't feel guilty about it.
No.
It's not like, you can't think of it like you're pouring the margarita down your child's throat. It's going through your tit into your bloodstream through a bunch of different filters.
Well, and the percentage
that comes out is very minimal.
Small.
So no, don't get drunk. Don't fucking blow lines of cocaine or do Molly.
Yeah, God,
but
don't do that.
Have a couple glasses of wine if you want, or have a drink.
Yes.
Or do whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Which might be
nothing.
Combining it.
Yeah.
But if you are breastfeeding and you want to have a drink,
you can have a drink.
If you're not.
But if it makes you feel better to pump and dump after, then you can.
Yeah, pump and dump.
But also, let's not pump and dump. Let's save the milk for bath or for skin issues.
Yeah.
You don't have to dump it. But yeah, that's, if I can drive, I'm a feed.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel. I don't even need to say anything. Just
Cheers, baby.
cheers. All right, well, it's been real.
It has been
Cheers
real.
to the pump and
Also,
dump.
just to like wrap it up, I'm sorry, I'm going to get deep because I'm super passionate about this topic. If you have struggled or you are struggling with an eating disorder, there is an end and you can overcome it. And I see you and you're beautiful and I'm rooting for you.
Yes.
Cheers.
Love you.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.